I don't think I've ever seen such a safe and happy ending for a finale in The Mandalorian. We do have season 2, The Rescue, right, with Luke Skywalker, and I feel like that might be why a lot of fans feel a little underwhelmed, because how can you even compete with the return of Luke Skywalker, seeing him in live action since The Last Jedi? There was no shock factor, this wasn't the Red Wedding of Star Wars. I mean, even the previous episode got me switching my beanie for a tinfoil hat. Yes, I was all the way into theories, I even made some myself. This was a happy ending, and I think it is an ending. There were no spies, outside of the obvious ones, and that's so weird to me because usually The Mandalorian has double meanings, and yes, this did have a double meaning, but it was just the so obvious one that we had seen with the Shadow Council and Kane. It wasn't the Night Owls, it wasn't Axe Woves, and thank Mandalore, it was not the armor, and I was terrified for that. I gotta say, the previous episode really set me up. I was terrified. I was already hurting because of the death of Paz Vizsla. I wasn't sure if I could take another death. I was terrified for Bo-Katan. I was terrified for the Armorer. I was terrified for Koska Reeves and Axe Woves. I was terrified for Din Djarin, and I had no idea that they had the guts to potentially kill this person off, especially after the Mandalorian movie was just announced. The action in this episode was well choreographed, and some of the scenes in the entire season of season 3 was fantastic. There's gonna be a couple videos that I'm gonna upload in the future that I'm gonna go over how I really love a lot of these shots. They took a lot of risks this season, and a risk that I feel like they got rewarded with. And this episode, this finale, I'm just thinking about Bo-Katan taking in all the Mandalorians, going in and saying dive in, and then the Imperial Commandos coming at her. That was one of the most insane shots in Star Wars. Even in Expanded Universe, I feel like I never really got to see something like that in my head. You know, you see the Clone Wars episodes where Mandalore is in disarray and the factions are fighting themselves. Something about seeing that in live action just takes the cake, man. Just seeing that all, and the Armorer and Bo-Katan going off and fighting the battle together, man. Oh God, that was so sick. But I have a lot of questions, and I think that is kind of the negative portion of this review, is like, is that going to be the last we see of Moff Gideon? Where is Thrawn, and why wasn't he connected here so we can get hype for Ahsoka? The Mythosaur is kind of just chilling, and are we ever going to see it again, or is that going to come into play in the movie? I guess you could say my biggest criticism is that there was no connection with Thrawn and Ahsoka. I fear, very much so, for the live action only fans who have no idea what they're about to step into. Thrawn is going to play a huge part in August when Ahsoka releases, and I really believe that 80 or 90% of these Star Wars live action only fans have no idea that Thrawn is literally one of the most popular Star Wars characters of all time. You're coming from an era where there were no movies, and the books and the video games and comics ruled the expanded universe, helping the canon story live in an era where there was no Star Wars. Thrawn was that person carrying the franchise on his back. And you can go out and see the last couple seasons of Star Wars Rebels to understand who he is. But I think the sheer value of seeing Thrawn for the first time ever, I feel like he should have appeared here in an end credit scene, just like we got with the Book of Boba Fett in the season 2 finale. That's really my only criticism. I wasn't hoping for anyone to die. I was terrified that people were going to die and be taken away from us. And I do believe that Star Wars has a huge criticism, a valid criticism, and that is killing characters off and bringing them back. And I feel like the greatest thing that you can do is not kill off a character until the time is right. When is the time right to kill a character? I don't know. I'm not Jon Favreau or Dave Filoni. I'm just a stupid nerd talking to the camera about Star Wars. But I am glad. Now with that announcement in the movies, I'm expecting a lot, honestly. It is going to be the ending. I feel like it really is going to be the culmination of what we've seen in the Mandoverse. But what about the Mandalorian himself? Is this the ending? Is this it? I mean, it does seem like the ending. The way the transition focuses on Grogu. I mean, Din is a father now, like an actual true father. Grogu is his son. We've always wanted this. And he's got a yard, like a house. And he's got his kid in the backyard enjoying a Sunday afternoon. I think that's it. I think it's a wrap, fam. And he's also working for the New Republic, and that's not a very bounty hunter thing to do. So I guess we're gonna have to see and wait, but I think this is an end for now. I don't know what Disney's gonna do without Grogu. I'm not saying he's never gonna come back. All I'm saying is you're probably not gonna see Din and Grogu until the movie after Ahsoka. My cat is hitting the camera, 1 second. Freckles! Get out of here! He just annoyed me and he ran away. I do feel a little empty, and I think it's just because the season is over, and I always feel like this. My entire reaction career in YouTube really sprung because of The Mandalorian and my first reactions to it in season 1. When it's over, I always feel like it's kind of an end for me until The Mandalorian comes back. But we do have Ahsoka this season, and Star Wars Visions 2, and I can't wait for the rest of everything, and I hope you all are on that journey with me, because I love doing this, and I'm so glad you all are here to stay. So, I'll see you around, fam. I hope you enjoyed the finale. Let me know what you think, or what you're talking about, or what you hated, or what you loved. I know Star Wars fans are gonna do that anyway, even when I don't ask. So you know what, fam? I'll see you around. See you in August, baby. No, sooner than that, because we got content coming out, because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but you're gonna have to listen. You're gonna have to subscribe, okay? I'll see you around. Deuces.